Houston is an international city. 30% of its residents are born in another country, and in total, over 100 different languages are spoken in our city's many vibrant neighborhoods. Over 3,300 companies are engaged in international business, and Houston is home to the nation's third largest diplomatic corps. Because Houston is an international city and home to residents from all corners of the globe, it is vital that people who speak a language other than English are able to access essential city services. The purpose of this training is to explain 1. Why the city has adopted a language access policy, 2. What that policy means, and 3. How city employees should assist Limited English Proficient or LEP individuals. There are a series of federal laws, presidential executive orders, and City of Houston policies which require that City of Houston employees offer meaningful access to Limited English Proficient individuals. Under Title VI of 1964 Civil Rights Act, public agencies and/or organizations like the City of Houston are obligated to provide competent language assistance to Limited English Proficient individuals. Presidential executive orders also mandate that LEP individuals receive access to government services. In 2014, the City of Houston adopted Administrative Procedure 2-11, which mandates that city departments who interact with the public must develop and implement a language access plan to explain how they will serve Limited English Proficient individuals. The administrative procedure also provides instructions on how city employees can use in-house multilingual staff or 311 Service Helpline to assist non-English speakers who need to access city services. To ensure that everyone is able to follow and understand this instructional video, let's first define some important terms which we will be using throughout the video. Limited English Proficient. A Limited English Proficient or LEP individual is defined as a person with limited English proficiency who has trouble reading, writing, and/or speaking English. Translation versus interpretation. The kind of language support discussed in this video is interpretation. Interpretation is performed orally and in real time. It is not concerned with a word-for-word interpretation, but rather with capturing the spirit of what someone is saying. Translation, in contrast, is usually concerned with a word-for-word translation of written text. Essential public information. Essential public information is any information or resources which have been deemed vital for purposes of public safety, public health, and public welfare. Although English may not be the first language of an LEP individual, he or she is still entitled to meaningful access to essential public information. Language access policy. The City of Houston's language access policy mandates that city employees must provide meaningful language access to LEP individuals using timely and effective resources. LEP individuals cannot be charged for language access services such as translation or interpretation. The services must be provided to them at no cost at all. Bilingual or multilingual employees. A bilingual or multilingual employee is a person who works for the city and has documented competency with 2 or more languages. Departments should maintain a list of their bilingual employees and make it available to employees who interact with the public. I Speak Card. I Speak Cards enable LEP individuals to ask for an interpreter. They help employees immediately identify the need for an interpreter and the language spoken by an LEP individual. Language Identification Guide or Poster. This poster or guide assists literate individuals who are not proficient in English to identify a preferred language. You will usually see them on top of desks, receptionist counters, or hanging on a wall. American Sign Language, ASL. ASL is a visual language. Sign language is not a universal language. Each country has its own sign language, and regions have dialects. Much like the many languages spoken all over the world, ASL is used predominantly in the United States and in many parts of Canada. Hearing impairment, deafness, or hearing loss. These may refer to individuals with the inability to hear things either totally or partially. A person with mild hearing impairment may have problems understanding speech, especially if there is a lot of noise around, while those with moderate deafness may need a hearing aid. Some people are severely deaf and depend on lip reading when communicating with others. People who are profoundly deaf can hear nothing at all. In order to communicate spontaneously and rapidly with people, they are totally reliant on lip reading and/or sign language. Okay, now that we have a basic understanding of these important language access definitions, let's look at some instructional videos that will show how you can assist non-English speakers. The following videos will show you the wrong way, followed by the right way to help an LEP individual. These scenarios will also give you a better idea of how important it is to provide reliable and timely access to essential public information. First, let's look at the wrong way to help someone.
Chào cô. Hi, how can I help you?
Chào cô, tôi tên Tân. Tôi muốn xin giấy phép mở tiệm. Cô giúp tôi nha.
Do you speak English? Okay, just give me 1 second. Hey, Roberto, it's Liz. Yeah, I just had a lady walk in and I can't understand a word she's saying. Could you come out here and help me, please? Okay, cool. I'll see you in a second. All right. 2 minutes, okay?
Oh, hey, Liz.
Hey, Roberto. So this lady just walked in. I have no idea what she's saying. I need your help.
Hi, my name is Roberto. How can I help you?
Chào anh, tôi tên Tân. Tôi muốn xin giấy phép mở tiệm. Anh giúp tôi nha.
Okay, Liz, I can't understand a word she's saying. I can't tell if this is Chinese or some other language.
Maybe it'll help if she writes it down.
Okay, so we can't understand you. So if you write down your information, your name and number, we can find an interpreter for you. Here's a pen. Write down your information.
Tôi không hiểu anh nói gì hết á. Anh muốn tôi viết xuống.
Like I said, we can't understand you. Write down your information and someone will contact you later.
Thôi tôi về nhà, nhờ người thân tôi dịch, không cần anh đâu.
Wow.
Now let's look at the right way to help someone.
Hello, welcome to the Multi-Service Center.
Hola, mi nombre es Mario Sánchez. ¿Podría ayudarme a averiguar cómo puedo pagar mi cuenta de agua?
Okay, I have a language identification card here, please. Will you point on there and let me know what language you're speaking?
Esta.
Okay, if you'll just give me a moment, I'm going to call for an interpreter. Hi, Roberto. This is Liz. Yes, I have a gentleman here that speaks Spanish. I was wondering if there was an interpreter that could assist us. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'll just call 311. Thank you. Right, bye. If you'll hold on a second, I'm going to call 311.
Hi, thank you for calling the 311 helpline. How can I help you?
I had a Spanish speaker that needs a language translator, please.
Yes, of course. Please hold the line.
Hey, this is Orlando from the language line. How may I help you?
Hi, this is Chris from the city of Houston. Can you connect me with someone who speaks Spanish?
I speak Spanish. I can assist you with interpreting.
That would be great. Wait just one moment. Hi, Liz. This is the 311 helpline. I have an interpreter for you.
Okay, I will hold the line and put us on speaker. You're on.
Hola, mi nombre es Orlando. Hablo español y seré su intérprete. La empleada de la ciudad se llama Liz. ¿Puede decirme su nombre?
Muchas gracias. Mi nombre es Mario Sánchez.
Gracias, señor Sánchez. Dígame, ¿en qué puedo ayudarle?
Muchas gracias. Solamente quiero saber cómo puedo pagar mi cuenta de agua.
Muchas gracias, señor Sánchez. Durante esta llamada seré el intérprete de ambos. Espere un momento, por favor. Liz, the constituent's name is Mario Sanchez. He would like to know how he can pay his water bill.
Okay, will you please let Mr. Sanchez know that our conversation will remain confidential?
Señor Sánchez, por favor tenga en cuenta que la conversación que tendrá con Liz será confidencial.
Muy bien.
Mr. Sanchez says okay. You can go on with your instructions, Liz.
Okay, thank you so much. Will you please let him know that the easiest way to pay your bill is to pay it online?
Thank you, Liz. Señor Sánchez, la manera más fácil es pagar por internet.
Tengo una computadora. Lo puedo hacer en casa.
Gracias, Mr. Sanchez. Liz, Mr. Sanchez says he has a computer at home and can make an online payment. Can you give him the web address?
Okay, I will write it on a piece of paper for him. Mr. Sanchez, it's www.houstonwaterbill.houstontx.gov. And you can find all the information there.
Liz le dará la dirección de la página web.
Muchas gracias por esta información.
Liz, Mr. Sanchez says he thanks you so much and appreciates the information.
Is there anything else I could help you with, Mr. Sanchez?
De nada, señor Sánchez. ¿Tiene alguna otra pregunta?
No, muchas gracias.
Liz, Mr. Sanchez says that he appreciates the information very much. Is there anything else you need me to communicate to Mr. Sanchez? If not, I will go ahead and end the call.
No, I think we're finished here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz. I will now tell Mr. Sanchez that I'm ending the call and will disconnect afterwards. Gracias, señor Sánchez. Ya que no necesita nada más, terminaré la llamada. Muchas gracias y que tenga un buen día.
Gracias nuevamente. Que tenga muy buenos días.
This is an example of the right way to help someone who does not speak English. In the skit, Liz was effective in bridging the communication gap which she encountered when working with an LEP individual. She was courteous to Mr. Sanchez, knowledgeable of the many interpretation tools available, and despite obstacles she encountered, was able to successfully help Mr. Sanchez. Liz demonstrated important things that you as a city employee should always remember when helping individuals who have limited English proficiency. Before we end, here are 10 guidelines that Liz followed that you should use helping constituents like Tan and Mr. Sanchez. 1. Use trained bilingual interpreters. 2. Identify the appropriate language. There may be several languages or dialects spoken in your client's country of origin. 3. Introduce yourself to the constituent and the interpreter. Begin the session by clearly stating your name and your department or division. 4. Start the session with making a commitment to confidentiality. Your LEP constituent needs to know that the information he or she shares with you will remain confidential. 5. Address the LEP constituent directly. Remember to speak in first person. Face the constituent and address him or her directly. Number 6. Speak slowly and clearly using short sentences. Pause frequently to allow the interpreter to work. Asking an interpreter to remember long sentences or passages can lead to omissions. Number 7. Use simple language. Avoid using slang, jargon, and metaphors. Communicate with the LEP individual at the language level he or she can understand. Number 8. Practice patience. Everyone wants to be treated with dignity and respect. Your patience and warmth will help your constituent communicate more openly, thoroughly, and honestly about his or her needs. Number 9. Be aware of differences. Some concepts, systems, processes, and the structure of city government that we are accustomed to in the United States may not exist in other countries. It may take more time to convey these concepts in another language. Number 10. Allow time for questions. Always allow LEP individuals to seek clarification if they do not understand something. The best way to ensure they have understood your explanations and instructions is to confirm with them that they have understood what you explained. The interpreter will be happy to facilitate this check. Finally, it's important that we cover hearing impaired individuals. If you have a constituent who is deaf or hearing impaired, you can assist him or her by using any of the following 3 strategies. You can communicate using 1. Written notes, 2. The phone, or 3. An interpreter. 1. Communicate by written notes. First, try communicating by writing a note. Keep in mind that American Sign Language has a word pattern of its own, which can change the way sentences are written. Be aware that not all people who are deaf can write, which does not indicate a lack of intelligence. Number 2, communicate by phone. If the person who is deaf has a smartphone, a City of Houston employee may communicate with him or her over the phone. First, ask the person's phone number by writing a note. When you call the number, your call will be mediated by an interpreter. Note, if you communicate by phone, due to FTC regulations, the person who is deaf cannot stay in the same room with you. The constituent will have to step into the hallway or another room. The interpreter will not assist if he or she discerns that you are in the same room with the person who is deaf. You may also text with the individual who is deaf if you have access to a City of Houston cell phone. 3. Communicate by interpreter. If the person who is deaf is accompanied by an interpreter, proper etiquette recommends that you maintain eye contact with the constituent, not the interpreter, even though it is the interpreter who's speaking. Although they may not speak English, limited English proficient individuals are still entitled to meaningful access to essential public information. Remember to become familiar with the tools that have been designed to help you serve LEP individuals, such as the language identification card, I Speak cards, on-site bilingual staff, and the 311 Service Helpline. You can find these resources and more information by visiting the city's language access website at www.ispeakhouston.org. As public servants, it is our duty to help bridge the linguistic gap that LEP individuals may encounter when seeking a city service. By using the resources covered in this video, we can all ensure that we meet the needs of people from all over the world who call Houston home.